are really just Eugene
Yeah.
practicing his claw dancing in the evening.
Like you do. Like you do. Who doesn't do that, right?
Thank you.
So
Thank you
normal.
for joining me on that. Yeah.
The 90s Nightmares Podcast.
Hey Arnold, the Headless Cabbie. It's one of the most iconic, classic pieces of media in all of mankind, probably. Would you agree?
Agreed. This is like top tier for me. 90s. One of my favorite shows growing up was definitely Hey Arnold. And when you think about when I think about Hey Arnold, this is the episode, or one of the episodes, or my favorite of all time for sure. So
absolutely, without a doubt. One of my other favorite episodes that come to mind would be like the pilot, where they're the banana and the strawberry downtown.
Yeah. Yeah. It's between that and I don't know if at the pilot episode you get to see his room for the first time, but whenever you get to see his room for the first time, I feel like that was a very core moment for me too, because I always envied his room as a kid.
With that giant skylight, dude.
Yeah,
that was that's goals.
Super dope.
I guarantee there's somebody out there that's built a real life Hey Arnold
replicated
bedroom.
that. Yeah. And I would be very, very jealous to see somebody have that. That's awesome.
I got to go look for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, here's what's up, dude. So Hey Arnold, the Headless Cabbie. It's a Halloween themed episode, which I personally, I love everything Halloween themed.
Same.
One of my faves. It came out on October 30, 1999. The episode starts off. All the boys in the class are at a sleepover, and they're sharing scary stories. Now, you and I know a little bit about scary stories, right?
Yeah, I think so. I like to think so.
One of the first like scary storytellers, narrators that I ever came across was Gerald from this show.
He was the good one too.
Amazing stories.
Yes, he was really good at it.
They have actually seen the hairy man out of his uniform hopping around in gorilla cages.
So good. Now, Stinky.
Stinky.
He starts off the night with his own, yarn, is what he calls it. He's spinning some yarn. And this is one of my favorite lines in the episode. He's like, he makes these two creatures and he calls them a monkey cat.
Monkey cat.
And one of my favorite pieces of one of my favorite humor devices is if you just repeat the same line enough times, it becomes funny.
It does. It does.
Which is why Family Guy has a special place in my heart.
For sure. For sure. I can agree with that.
Monkey cat.
Monkey cat.
See, it's funnier now than it was a second ago.
It is. Especially in his voice too.
Oh, dude, that's you know what hit me recently is that there's more than one kind of Southern accent.
Yeah.
Now, I'm from the South. I was born in Nashville, and I've got family that still live in that area. But that Southern accent is different from the Arkansas Southern accent, which I think Stinky has.
Yeah, I think so too. It's definitely it's its own breed. It's its own thing for sure. It's hard to pinpoint, but it's iconic within the Hey Arnold universe. That's for sure.
So now, Stinky's story is over, right? It was okay. Arnold goes, I've actually got a pretty scary one myself. Let me jump up and tell this story. It's called The Headless Cabbie. And he tells the story of the Headless Cabbie. And now remind me, Booze, because I'm probably going to drop some details. But a young woman is out on a foggy night. Okay, it's dark, it's cloudy, visibility is very low. She's looking for her young Scotty dog.
Yes.
She comes across a horse carriage, and she jumps in, and she's like, hey, I lost my dog a couple of weeks ago. I got to find my dog. Can we just stroll around the park, and maybe he pops up, right?
Yeah.
They end up, the night gets even darker, believe it or not, even cloudier, believe it or not. And then real quick, I won't even go there. I'll try to remember to cut that out. I was going to mention how you and I are both a little bit sick, so we might sound weird, but fucking irrelevant. So this woman hears a dog barking, and she recognizes it's her Scotty dog.
Yes.
And she starts basically beating this cabbie to go faster, go through this tunnel faster. Her voice goes from this pretty, very, very posh, need to find my Scotty dog. And then she's basically go faster.
Yeah. Screaming. And for sure.
So she 180s pretty hard. And I feel like I'm dragging the song, but like it helped me wrap up the legend itself, because that's the part that I'm not very good at. There's a red scarf hanging from a tree branch.
I believe at the beginning when she first gets into the carriage, she says something along the lines of, "It's so cold out. Won't you wear this scarf?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, thank you, Mom." And he puts it around his neck, and then
Yes.
as they're going faster and faster and faster, the scarf, I can't remember if it like flies up, wraps around a tree limb, and then
I think
supposedly yanks his head off.
Straight up decapitates on
Yes.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the red scarf is still hanging there to this day, says the urban legend.
Right.
And then there was something. I watched this episode 2 times today, man. And then there was a man with a golden hook for an arm at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
Right? It was another kind of a thing. Just
That
to
was
watch
another
out for.
thing. Yeah. Another layer. to it.
Super scary.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah,
Arnold tells
absolutely.
the legend very well. Even Gerald is like, "You did a good job."
Yeah, and if you get the the A-OK from Gerald, then you know you did a good job.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned the cabbie saying "Yes, Mom" a couple of times.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
actually Dan. What's this dude's name? Dan Castellaneta. He's also the voice of Grandpa.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Same dude. What's up, short man? Do you have a grandpa impersonation that's as bad as mine?
I that was actually pretty good. I don't know if I want to try to top that or even go level with it, because that was pretty good.
Thanks, man. It was just a throwaway attempt. He also does Homer Simpson, so this is a legendary voice actor.
Damn, I did not. I guess I'm not a really big Simpsons guy, so maybe that's why I didn't know that. But that's pretty cool. That's a cool connection.
For sure. Now, Arnold's shadow at the end of the story. Oh, hold on. I'm reading my notes real quick. Arnold's shadow at the end of the story was dope. I don't know why I wrote that.
I'm trying to remember or trying to think if I can. I don't.
It's probably some like upshot, and his shadow was all like super dramatic.
Like, oh
probably.
yeah.
Whatever. Now, after the story wraps, right? Everybody's scared. Everybody is scared, especially Harold. See where I was going?
Yeah.
But everybody's hungry, right? So they all decide just to go get some food. I think they're getting ice cream.
I believe so.
And the fastest way to the ice cream shop, that's still open at night, I guess, for some reason, is through the city park, through the tunnel.
Right.
The same tunnel that the Headless Cabbie is based in.
Yes.
So we all kind of know what we're in for now.
Yeah. So do you think that was by happenstance that they just happened to go through the park where this story that was told to them, or do you think that they planned it? I'm thinking too much into it, but I'm making it halfway into, like, hey, between Arnold and Gerald, like, hey, let's tell them this spooky story, and then let's take them through right where it happened and see if we can scare them.
No, absolutely happenstance. Because later in the episode, even Arnold is kind of like, okay, guys, I mean, I know this is scary, but it's just all a coincidence.
Yeah.
And even you can tell he's starting to like unfold just a little bit.
Right.
I think it was all just a nice plot line coincidence, I think.
Okay.
But
Sounds
Harold
good.
is freaking out the whole time, dude. He's like,
he
I'm
is.
only going because I'm hungry.
Okay, I'll go. But only because I'm really, really hungry.
Yeah, and doesn't he have, like, if I remember correctly, he's got like a little alligator or something that he's like holding on to the whole time.
He's got a stuffy?
Like a stuffed animal that he's carrying the whole time, if I remember correctly, because I
I
remember
don't
there's one scene where he's like shaking and he's like sitting there rubbing it and he's like, easy squeezy lemon peasy or something like
Yeah,
that.
I do remember him saying that line, but
Yeah.
the visuals are escaping me. You're probably right. He did probably have a little stuffy or something.
Yeah.
So the boys actually happen upon a Scotty dog, and he's barking.
Mhm.
They hear horse hooves the same
Yes.
way we heard them in the story from before.
Right.
It's on a cobblestone. It's very echoey.
Mm-hmm.
However, we come to find that the horse hooves are really just Eugene
Yeah.
practicing his claw dancing in the evening.
Like you do. Like you do. Who doesn't do that, right?
Thank you.
So
Thank
normal.
you for joining me on that. Yeah. That was a pretty cool reveal, because the whole time you're thinking, oh my God, is this actually the Headless Cabbie? Oh no.
Right.
camera
Just
pans up.
good
It's
old
just
Eugene.
Eugene.
Yeah.
Good for him, man.
And
What
I'd
a
like
dude.
I'd like to say that too. I don't think anything bad happens to him in this episode. You know how he always wrecks or gets hurt
Yeah.
and I don't remember him actually getting hurt. It's like an episode of South Park where Kenny doesn't die type of thing.
Yeah. I think you're right. I guess for sure. I never picked up on that, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
that kid was just like accident prone.
So I remember the bicycle episode where like he got a new bike and then he just kept breaking bones and stuff.
Where the episode where Arnold was trying to make it up to him and he just kept screwing
Yeah.
everything up. Yeah.
Arnold was trying to give Eugene the best day ever, but
Yeah.
things just, of course, kept going wrong.
It just kept going wrong.
Eugene.
Yeah. Eugene.
So we're now officially, all the boys are in the tunnel. Eugene's included as well. He still has his clog shoes on because he was
Yes.
practicing. They're in the tunnel. And now let me go back to my notes real quick.
Okay.
They're inching their way through the tunnel. Harold is still freaking out, but Arnold's like, come on, dude, we're almost at the end of the tunnel. We did have two kind of scary things happen. We did hear a Yorkie dog barking.
Yes.
We haven't, put a little bow on that yet, but we did hear horse hooves, but it was just Eugene practicing his clog dancing. The end of the tunnel is just right there. We're so
Yes.
close. Harold goes, okay, fine. And then we get to the end, and what do we see but a man with a golden hook for an arm? But it wasn't actually that, was it? What was it?
No, it was, it looked like, I don't know if it was just some kind of peddler, something like that. He's like trying to sell him a quality watch or something. I think he says that. That's
Yeah,
the line that he says.
Just wanted to sell him a quality watch.
That's
And he's
what
just
it
like
was.
has like watches draped around his entire arm.
Yep. He's got gold watches all the way up and down his arm. So he looks like a man with a golden hook for an arm. And
Right.
that's just a funny way just to kind of cap that
It is.
loose end off as well. I really like
It
that
is.
touch.
I
just wanted to sell you a quality watch.
yeah. Yeah.
Now, so all the kids, they leave the tunnel. Scary things keep happening, but there's easy explanations for pretty much all of them, right? But everybody's still
Yep.
on edge.
Yep.
They're out of the tunnel. They look up and they see a red scarf hanging from a tree branch. This is like spooky coincidence number 4 or 5 at this point, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, going back to my notes. Just a side note, you have a reflective frame behind you, and I can see myself in it. I'm not bitching, but it's just something that I noticed.
Well, that's an easy fix.
What even is in that frame?
My younger brother made me. It just says booze and booze on it with a microphone.
Oh, dude, cool.
Yeah.
Well, don't turn it around. Just either leave it there or just leave the office thing there instead.
Yeah, I'll just do that. That one's not so reflective.
What an amazing show. We should do some of the Halloween offices too.
Oh hell yeah!
Or I mean,
Absolutely.
like any of them really.
Any
I'm
of
just
them
stuck in-
do.
I'm just stuck in Halloween mode.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm always in.
So now we hear horse hooves again, and we get to see that they're actually horses.
Mhm.
This is not some easy explained away thing. This is an actual horse coming down the cobblestone path.
Yep.
And we also hear this demented laugh. The same high-pitched, shrill, demented laugh that the lady from the story from earlier did.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, here comes
Yeah.
another big reveal.
Mhm.
The Headless Cabbie really is just Ernie.
Yep. Yep.
He's just that squat fella with his jacket is up a little bit too high and his collar's up really high, and it's just Ernie. He's not a
Yeah.
headless dude.
The answers to all of these things are always just the way that they're kind of shoehorned in there is just so funny.
It's a Halloween episode, dude. There's
Yeah.
no rules. Like
Right.
there's no rules to follow. You don't have to follow like the canon or whatever.
Right.
And you can just kind of be as silly
Just
as
go
the
off the
story
book.
needs you to
Yep.
be.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And my favorite reveal of the whole episode is the demented laugh. That
Mhm.
wasn't some crazy ghost lady,
No.
ghost lady, excuse me. That was Mr. Wynn.
Mr. Wynn just cackling it up in the park at night,
Verbatim, practicing his creepy laugh.
Yeah.
That's what he said. So that's how they explained that away.
And to be fair, that's a pretty good laugh.
He's got a great laugh, dude.
Yeah.
Very creepy. Good for him.
Very creepy. Very, very good.
The practice is paying off.
Yeah, obviously so.
So Ernie collects all the boys. He drops all of them back off at the house that they live at.
Yep.
And then he drives off. Right.
Yep.
So he's kind of explaining. He's like, what's the point of you driving a cabbie, Ernie? Like, why are you doing this? And he's like, I'm just trying to make some more money. Got a problem with that? In the most East Coast way possible.
Yeah. Stay in your lane, kid.
Yeah. Anything wrong with that? So after Ernie takes all the boys home, drops them back off so that they can finish their slumber party with their ice cream, he takes off because he's still on the clock, right?
Right.
However, what do we see next?
Next, we see the same lady at the beginning of the story enters the frame and hops in and ends up handing him a scarf. So
we've now come full circle.
Yes.
Everything that was explained away in the most silliest, most Nickelodeon way possible.
Right.
This happens at the very end. The same lady from before,
right,
flags him down, offers him her red scarf because it's cold.
Yes.
He takes her up on it.
Yep, he sure does.
And off they go.
Off they go into the night.
And that's one of the I don't know, I think I love that trope, especially in the 90s and early 2000s.
For sure.
When, like everything's kind of explained away, like it was a dream, or it was just Ernie with his coat collar up too high. And then at the very end, they do a little twist where it's like, but was it?
Yeah, exactly. They
like
kind of like take your defenses down, give you some answers to what it really was, and then wait, backpedal a little bit. Like, no, is it?
Then they bring you right back up.
Right.
So that's the jam, dude. Hey Arnold, Headless Cabbie. One
Phenomenal
of my favorite
episode.
Hey Arnold episodes.
Yeah.
So iconic.
So it really genuinely is. I think, what's the other one that's, I don't think it's a Halloween episode, but it's the ghost one.
Are you thinking of I'm thinking of the haunted train, I think, or something similar.
Oh man, that's a good episode too. I forgot about that one. Yeah. The haunted train, and then the one with the glasses. Remember the glasses, the haunted glasses, where
I really don't.
They go down into the basement or something like that. I can't remember who the main character is, and I think it might not have been Arnold in that one. That's gonna bug me, but I'll figure it out. But those will be a couple other episodes we can definitely watch too, because I think there's the haunted train, there's the haunted glasses, or whichever one that one is, and I think there's an alien one too. You remember that one?
Yeah, the alien one, where that was kind of like a War of the Worlds. Is that what I'm thinking of? I know exactly what episode you're talking about, but they have like a radio show where they're basically broadcasting an alien takeover, and everybody thinks it's real.
Yes, that's a really good episode too. So yeah, there's
that's
plenty of more stuff to for sure.
So let's do this real quick, man, before we wrap. So if you're listening to this on YouTube, thank you so much. This is what we look like. Sorry you had to stare at us for the last minute of the episode. There's nothing we can do about this.
So sorry about that.
But leave a comment below letting us know which 90s scary thing you want us to talk about next. Is it another Hey Arnold episode? We're going to do the Are You Afraid of the Dark still, but intertwined between those episodes, we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about Batman and Fresh Prince and Rugrats and whatever else.
All that good stuff.
If you've got a favorite 90s episode, a favorite Halloween 90s episode from something that's not Are You Afraid of the Dark, let us know.
Yeah.
We might do that one next or in the very near future.
Yeah, exactly. And again, just like Derek said, it doesn't have to be animated like Hey Arnold. It could be Boy Meets World. It can be Fresh Prince. It can be all those good classic 90s shows, anything and everything. Because I guarantee, you name it, we watched it, we liked it. Or even if we didn't, it'll be something new for us to check out and then go over.
For sure, man. Absolutely, dude. And if you're listening to this on a podcast, thank you. Leave us a review. Tell us how you think we're doing.
Give me all them stars.
All them stars, dude. I think if... I'm hungry for 5 stars, brother. I don't know about you.
yeah. 5 is the preferable amount of stars that we like.
Preferred. Well, if there's nothing else, thank you, Booze, for your time today.
Yep.
Thank you, listener, for your time today. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
We love you.
Yes.
And we will see you very soon.
See you guys.
The 90s Nightmare.